So what is administrative logging? Admin logging is not directly tied to an individual. So you will not be entering a DCN number, you will not be entering a DMHID number, you will not be entering an individual's name or date of birth. Medicaid reimburses the division for work that is done to continue our Medicaid-driven system. And it allows us to generate revenue to support staff salaries and expenses. So the next question comes down to, when should I log? First and foremost, you're going to log for transfers out of the information specialist system when Medicaid has been activated. Admin logging should reflect a cumulative total of the entire time it takes you to research and then process the transfer out of the IS system. So all the time that you're in Seymour researching, all the time you're inputting information into the spreadsheet and processing the transfer forms and emailing them to the appropriate contacts, you're going to accumulate all of that time up. So that's going to come from either the monthly drop-off list, or it's going to be regular transfers when we get notified from a local office that someone's Medicaid has been activated. The other time we're going to look at using admin logging is when we're assisting family or an individual to make application for Medicaid. The total time that you're going to spend working with that family, helping them get the application, maybe reviewing the application, sending it back for corrections, sending the releases to medical records to get the documentation to support the disability, the time it takes to scan or email or fax that application back to Medicaid, you're going to accumulate all that time back up. So here it is, it's time to begin logging. So how do I do it? Logging is very easy to complete. We're going to break this thing down step by step. So step one, we're going to go to our time and leave system. So you can see on my desktop, I've got an icon specifically for time and leave. You're going to double click on that. It's going to take you immediately to the time and leave and the administrative logging system. So how do I log? Step two, you're going to navigate to your monthly calendar. At the top, you're going to find the line that says monthly calendar, and you're going to select it by clicking it. Step three, we're going to click on the stopwatch icon for the desired week. So we've found our monthly calendar. We're going to select the week that we need to log for, and we're going to locate that necessary stopwatch icon. And we're going to click it. Step four, now it's time to enter your time. Once you've selected the stopwatch icon, this screen is going to pull up. This is what it looks like when you put in your leave requests. It also is what it looks like when you enter time for administrative logging. Step five, we're going to select from 3 billing codes from the drop-down menu. So here you've identified 3 codes that you will utilize most often. Non-billable, DD bill Medicaid waivers, that's for any of the time that your researches and processing people so that they can transfer out of the information system and back to support coordination. The one here at the bottom, DD bill other ticks, this is the code we're going to use when we assist families with a Medicaid application. So this may not be a code that you utilize all the time, but you want to remember to use this code when you are processing and assisting families in making application for Medicaid. Step 6, now we're going to enter your time for each day, and it always has to total 8 hours. So you've got your weekly timesheet pulled up. You've got it for your identified week. You've entered your time. So look on Monday, you've got 2 hours identified for non-billable. You've got 4 hours for billing Medicaid waivers. Maybe you helped transfer a lot of people out of the information specialist system. It was your day to cover the phones. And you spent 2 hours under DD bill other ticks to assist getting a Medicaid application processed and off to Medicaid. When you look at the description section, you only have to add a description if your supervisor expects you to. You only have to add a comment if your supervisor expects you to. And remember, the system will not let you process it unless your total equals 40 hours. Step 7, you've completed entering your logging, and now it's time to submit this to your supervisor for approval. It's not finished until your supervisor hits approve. You're going to hit submit. It's going to pull up a dialog box that says, are you sure you want to submit this to your supervisor? You're going to hit OK, and it's going to go. So there is one exception to this rule when we're logging, and that's when there's a holiday during the week. You're going to pull your sheet up. I want you to look at the bottom on the activity. You see that all prorate holiday, and you've entered 8 hours. This is the code we use, the quote-unquote billing code we'll use anytime there's a holiday during our regular work week. You always have to account for 40 hours, whether it's billable or not. So if you take a holiday, you want to use the all prorate holiday and account 8 hours. Okay, so you've been through the PowerPoint, you've seen the slides, I've walked you through kind of a screen-by-screen snapshot of how to enter your administrative logging. So let's take a few minutes, let's do a real-time, step-by-step video of how to actually input your administrative logging. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my desktop logo icon that says DMH Time and Leave. I'm going to double click. See, this is where we put in our time and leave. It's also where we put in our administrative logging. I'm going to click on monthly calendar. You're going to see that I've already input 1 week. So let's come in, click on the stopwatch icon that has a red X through it. If it doesn't have a red X, you've entered your time. If it has a red X, then it needs to be entered, and it opens it up. So you see that I've got all billable, non-Medicaid, basically no Medicaid. Then I've got bill Medicaid waivers. The last one we're going to pull up is the DD, bill other, TICs. So you go through and you're going to input your time. Maybe 3 hours here of non-billable on Monday the 9th. Maybe I did 30 minutes of actual transfers. But maybe I had a project where I was working with 3 or 4 families getting their Medicaid applications put in. So that would give me 4.3 hours. And you can see down here at the bottom that I've got 8 hours entered. So you're going to break your day down each day using those 3 codes. Now, the only other issue you're going to run into, and we demonstrated that, is what if there's a holiday during the week that you're billing. So you're going to choose all prorate holiday. Let's say that Tuesday, December the 10th is a holiday. You're going to enter 8 hours. You want to enter all your time. You want to make sure that each day goes up to 8 hours, and then you're at 40 hours down here at the bottom. If you are, then you're going to hit your submit key. It's going to pull up the symbol that says, do you want to send this to your supervisor? You are always going to send this to your supervisor. You'll click OK. It's that simple. Congratulations, you did administrative logging.